They say that when a child is born with eyes too awake for his own age, the world leans closer to watch him breathe. A harmattan morning, Afolayan arrived when dust softened the sun and even the goats moved gently. He did not cry for long. He only stared at the thatch above him, at the midwife's bracelets, at the space between words. His mother would later swear that the child frowned as if the world had entered the room unfinished. Act 1. The Gift. By the time Afolayan could walk, he was already listening the way elders listen, with his whole body. He learned letters as though remembering them from somewhere else. Numbers behaved around him, stories bent toward his understanding. When the village radio broke, he fixed it without being taught, tapping its cracked shell like a drummer waking an old rhythm. The elders noticed. They noticed how he answered questions that were not fully asked, how he corrected proverbs gently, not with disrespect, but with precision, how he grew quiet when others celebrated him. One evening, as palm wine thickened the air and the moon sat low like a listening ear, Baba Kule watched the boy trace patterns in the dust. "This child," the old man said, "walks ahead of his shadow." Some laughed, some nodded. Mama Ibabo did not smile. "A river that runs too fast," she said, "forgets its source." No one argued. They only watched Afolayan, whose destiny moved like a storm far out at sea, visible, inevitable, and not yet loud. Act 2. The Rise. Youth carried him quickly. School could not hold him. Exams fell apart in his hands. He returned from the city with ideas that arrived wearing confidence. He taught farmers to use phones to track market prices. He organized the youths through group chats and voice notes, turning idle afternoons into coordinated labor. He brought solar panels that lit evenings once owned by darkness. Money began to flow. Outsiders came to ask questions. Respect shifted its shape. Soon, people did not ask whether Afolayan agreed. They asked when he would decide. He spoke fast now. His laughter sharpened. When elders paused before speaking, he finished their sentences. "Times have changed," he said kindly often. "We must move." Traditions waited like old men by the roadside, waving at buses that no longer stopped. And Afolayan, brilliant, praised, amplified by screens glowing in his palm, mistook speed for direction. Act 3. The First Misstep. The warning did not come as thunder. It came as a meeting he almost skipped. The elders advised patience before leasing communal land to a tech company promising jobs and roads. They asked for time to consult, to pour libation, to listen for what was not yet said. Afolayan listened with half his ear. The numbers were clear, the benefits obvious. Delay felt like cowardice disguised as wisdom. "We will lose this opportunity," he said. "Progress does not wait for consensus." He signed. No curse followed. No argument erupted. The elders only fell quiet. Silence, when it comes from those who once guided you, is heavier than anger. Act 4. The Fall. Lagos welcomed him like a crown. Meetings, interviews, headlines with his name arranged like praise poetry. Then the ground shifted. The company folded under scandal. Documents resurfaced, his signature framed without context. Online praise turned into accusation. Friends became careful. Phones stopped ringing. At night, sleep betrayed him. He dreamed of egungun, masquerades without drummers, cloth dragging across concrete streets, their faces turned away from him. One stood still and asked a riddle without words. Afolayan woke up sweating, unable to remember his mother's voice. Humiliation arrived quietly. Invitations dried up. A younger man replaced him on panels he once led. He walked through crowds unseen, carrying a name that now tasted bitter. In the city, greatness abandons you faster than poverty ever does. Act 5. Return and Redemption. He returned home thinner, slower, eyes finally caught up to his age. The village did not celebrate him. It did not reject him either. It watched. Afolayan knelt before the elders, not because tradition demanded it, but because his knees no longer resisted the ground. He spoke little. He listened much. Redemption did not arrive as forgiveness. It arrived as work, repairing trust, teaching without leading, serving without announcing. He fetched water. He waited. He learned again how silence carries instruction. One evening, Mama Ibabo sat beside him. Intelligence, she said softly, runs ahead. Wisdom waits for others. Afolayan nodded, not in agreement, in understanding. His future did not blaze like before. It glowed steadily. He built slower. He asked more questions than he answered. The village moved forward, not fast, but together. And when children gathered by firelight, they spoke of a man who once outran his shadow, then learned how to walk beside it. That is how greatness stays human.